visualize where she was, as she didn't want to miss her station. Night fell fast, and with it, she began to feel restless for an unknown reason, and she still had a short ride to go. She thought about how her day had been, and the inconveniences that arose. That hadn't been the best of days at work, but she couldn't complain, since the days when the boss was in a bad mood were the worst. Besides, those were the days when it seemed like the hours were endless, and under his shrewd bloodhound gaze, it was impossible for her to do anything but stress. Some of the restaurant's regulars seemed a little disgruntled, which seemed strange to her, since they were regulars. But that day, it seemed like all the events were planned to make her day harder than ever. She remembered when she had the interview for the waitressing job, and it was Josh, the owner of the restaurant, who had given her that interview. He had been nice, no trace of grumpiness, no nasty faces like he had been doing lately. He had even smiled at her and complimented her on her college studies. She thought that this, even if it was not her dream job, could be a decent place to work and earn some money. But as the days went by, she began to see the reality of the place. Countless customer complaints, lousy ordering service, poor organization, personal problems among some colleagues, and a paltry pay, which was not enough to cover the whole month. Desperation to have something to put in her mouth led her to accept the first job that came her way. She was only a teenager when she left her parents' house, a couple of drunks who cared more about alcohol than about her. It took all her courage and bravery to make the decision she made at the time, to leave that place, until she was soon taken in at a homeless shelter where there were adults, families, and teenagers about to come of age. She had to lie to the social service, telling them that she had no family to ask for help, neither near nor far. There was only her in the world. She feared that the workers would send her back to her old home, where she couldn't even stand her own existence. She stayed there for 2 years, finished high school, and then came of age and was able to fend for herself. Tatiana did not wait to be kicked out or to be offered a job in a house, but had been looking for opportunities since before she was 18. Her jobs had been as a nanny, waitress, saleswoman, product promoter, and waitress again. Nothing too far outside of her basic studies up to that point. Those days had been really hard, but if she hadn't, she would have had to go back to her parents' house, and she didn't want that for anything in the world. What she experienced there was unbearable, and she decided at an early age that enough was enough. As much as she loved them, she was not going to let them ruin her life as well. Tatiana made a promise to herself that she would fight for a better future and get ahead. Maybe sooner I can visit them, if I can find them,